go. Here we go. Here we go once again. Actually, this is probably one of the best episodes, even though we ain't talking about nothing yet, because really all is in different locations. But before I get to all that, this is the NT Network. This is, I believe, episode 8 or 9, Brother Marco. I would like Brother Marco because Brother Marco be on it. So if you see me over front of Brother Marco, he be knowing what's going on. Brother Kazi, he in the private sector, so he don't really be that active, but he's active. You know what I'm saying? Brother Kazi,
we all be moving around in our different aspects, but this is episode 8. This is episode.
Okay, I just need that. I need that confirmation. I need that confirmation, man. So y'all might see later, a guest might pop in, but we gon' genie him in there. But as of now, man, we got the original trade. The original trace, the original triangle. I got Brother Kazi, we got DR.COMARK. Man, we kicking, man. How y'all brothers doing, man? How y'all living?
I'm living okay. Y'all living good because y'all on vacation. So y'all living good. Y'all don't even have to come in, man. Y'all doing y'all thing.
I'm good over here. I'm good over here, man.
Yeah, where you at, brother? Tell the people where you at, man. Where you at, brother?
I'm in Grenada right now. I'm in Grenada right now.
You know what?
I got my wallet. We had to bring out the BONICHE sunglasses for them.
And we put the ad right here so y'all remember. Let me put the time marker for that. But look, before we go any further, I gotta get on Brother Marco real quick. Cause listen, Brother Marco talking all this stuff, but Brother Marco been in more countries than the average black man could wish they had been. So I don't even know why he fronting the move right now. Brother, you ain't gotta front the move, you know what I'm saying? We know you good money, you know what I'm saying? Well, without further ado, live from Mexico City, Mexico, man, we gonna get this thing kicked off, man. So, I had to throw that in there for my dog because he wasn't feeling it. I had to throw it in there. But first thing we got on the list today for the episode 8, man, we ran across a clip of, I believe, an NBA player called Josh Giddey.
More breaking news, this time concerning a Thunder basketball player. Multiple outlets now reporting that the NBA is launching an investigation into Thunder guard Josh Giddey.
Now, the situation with this guy, I believe, of course, he's in the NBA. He plays for Oklahoma City Thunder, I believe. And he is alleged to have affairs with an underage girl.
Now, there has been focus of a lot of social media attention on this over the past 20 hours. Posts saying he engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a minor.
Giddey was asked about those accusations today during a media availability at practice today, saying he understood.
And I believe she was 15, 16?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
sophomore in high school.
Okay, so I know there's gonna be a news clip in here. I don't know if it's gonna cover all specifics. We're gonna try to do our best to do it. But from my understanding, man, my man way out of bounds, and I'm having a hard time really seeing these things happening, especially from men of these caliber. Because to be in the NBA, regardless of people get their props, now you're 1-on-1 even if you're on the bench. Remember, everybody don't make it. So for this to happen, I'm really confused. So I definitely like to get your brother's insight from how y'all take this opinion. Not the opinion, but this matter at hand. So, Brother COMARK, from watching the video and all, because I know you way bigger in sports than I am. What do you see from this story or the situation at hand?
So he is a young superstar. He was drafted in 2021, and Oklahoma City Thunder, up and coming powerhouse right now with all their superstars. I think they're like 11-4 right now in the season. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna just put that out there.
Right.
Shout out to Oklahoma City Thunder, y'all doing y'all thing. So Josh Giddey, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Right. I know y'all gonna hate me. I know y'all gonna hate me right now. The guy is from Australia, right? I know the NBA has its rules, and we all have our regulations over here in the United States. Now check this out. Do we implement all these rules for everybody, and do they understand these rules when they come over to the United States? Because we have to understand that in Australia, the consent for sex, for it to be legal, is for them to be 16. For them to be 16. Mm-hmm. So regardless of his age or his statute, the legal age is 16. or for them to be 2 years older. So if the girl is 16 in Australia, she is of legal age, depending on what country or what city or what, I don't know how you say it in Australia, but what city or what state, whatever the case may be, in Australia, it could be 16, could be 17. So he could probably not have a total understanding of what our laws are here in the United States. By all means, I'm not condoning what he's doing, because somebody, you know, in our country, in our states, should guide him to say, hey, this is wrong. This is what you should not do. You've been here a couple of years. This is what you should do. But he's from Australia.
Right.
In his mind, this is okay. This is okay. So that's my take on it. That's my opinion on it. And I'm a bag away. That's it.
So,
Brother Kaji, let me hear it now. Live from Grenada, man. Let's hear it.
So one thing I learned coming from Barbados to United States of America, not knowing is not an excuse.
Exactly.
The law, right? So forgive me, and it's the anti-network. I don't care who you are, what you do, whatever. Once you come to another country, your job, you have one job: understand and know this country's law. That is it. Because you can't go to court as well. I didn't know because where I come from. Because the judge gonna be like, okay, so where are you right now, right? So
Sure.
when it comes to that, he should be punished like anyone else. You know what I mean? Because again, I'm a firm believer, not knowing is not enough. Because if that's the case, we all can say, well, I don't know the speed limit was 30 because my GPS says 40 right now.
Yo, that is common. That's super common right there.
You know what I'm saying? Or classic one, when you're driving on the highway, let's say there's like 4 lanes. You merge, right? What's the fast lane on the highway? What's the fast lane?
Farthest left.
Left lane.
Okay, so how much miles per hour is a fast lane if the slow lane is 50 miles per hour?
It's still 50 miles
60.
per hour.
Exactly, but people go way faster than 50 or 60 miles per hour. You know what I'm saying? So and then when they get pulled over, they're like, I was in the fast lane.
Nah, ain't no extra, bro. In Texas, bro, I got a ticket for being going 56 in the 50.
Right,
like exactly. Literally, bro, in the far left lane.
You got pulled over. You got pulled over by a state trooper, didn't you?
You know it. You know it.
So something as simple as that. These rules. Because people have this misunderstanding that probably something that's been done or has been happening. It's the norm now. You know what I mean? Because it's not. People are not being punished for it, or people are just looking past it. So in this sense, he came to this country. He's wrong. And whatever the punishment is, he got to bear the punishment no matter his status. That is it.
Right. Wait. Before you go, that is true. And like the girl in Dubai who got in trouble for arguing, I think a couple of months ago with the rental car guy for, yelling at him. And, it took her a couple of months before she got back to the United States. I think she was from Houston. It's the same system. I was saying that too. You need to know before you go to these countries. And like I said, I played devil's advocate because I wanted one of y'all to say it, but it is true. I mean, but he still should. He's, that in his mind, he was like, oh, it's 16. I'm from Australia. But go ahead, Brother X.
No, I honestly, man, I'm glad both of y'all said what y'all said because it makes it easy for me to say what I want to say as far as the follow-ups. I think it's very normal for people to do their traditions in America. This is the norm. I think a lot of people get away with it too. It's only a big deal because he got caught, in my opinion. That's the only reason why it's a big deal. And to be fair. Should he face the consequences like any other American? Of course you should. If you feel like you will use the excuse as a grown man, especially as an NBA caliber, to say, well, I wasn't sure or I didn't know, like, I hope she had a fake ID. I really hope something in that nature that can really excuse him, but it is our responsibility, fellas, to check these things, especially when you of high priority. It's so easy to get tricked out your spot from negligence. And as you say, man, and this is big in America, like Brother Kazi said, if you don't know, does not make you excusable from the law. So, if the brother did what they say he did allegedly, you got to pay the piper, man. Because nobody don't get excuses in America. I don't care if you're in the NBA or not. So, in my opinion, I feel like the media is being a little easy with him because he's white. But that's normal. Not tripping or complaining. But he got to get dealt with. If he violated, then he got to get demonstrated. Simple. With the strong arm of the law. So, yeah, it might be cool in Australia to get down like that. Then you should wait till you get back to Australia when the season's over. So when the summer coming around, when the NBA players, settling down, go back to Australia, brother. Use some of that time then, and get your Leonardo DiCaprio Jr. on with some of the younger women. You know what I'm saying? I can never knock a man for what he likes. I think we all have differences, but if that's your practice, brother, and you cool with that, go back to Australia. I ain't saying you have to stay there. Well, I ain't saying get out of America. It ain't like we kicking you out. But if you got to understand, this what goes on in this country. And what goes on in your country is way different. So, yeah, brother, you definitely going to have to pay the piper for that if it's true. I wasn't there. Yeah. I don't know. But as I say, if it's true, hey, man, strong R is coming to your door very soon, brother. Unless you going to use some of the millions you got to, pay off the right person.
I was just going to say, you think he going to get off because he got money? Because Diddy still in the story, man. He got off. He got people coming after him again, but he white, he got money.
Well, the thing about the Diddy situation versus this is this, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people are gonna say race is the first one, but I don't really make that in none of my arguments about race when it comes to this per se. I think it's the fact Diddy's gonna catch way more flack because this has been something that's in the air for years when it comes to Diddy. I can understand like this Cassie thing was the one and only thing you ever heard. I'm talking, man, this has been going on in the industry with Brother Love for a long time. Now, I personally wasn't there for these events, but there are a lot of celebrities or ex-security guards and assistants that came out and speaking about these things. So, if that's the case, man, he got to deal with that. And secondly, for Brother Giddy, from what we know publicly, this is what his first time offense. I never heard him really on ESPN trending for top player of the year or let alone the worst player of the year. I just found about this dude in a few days. I don't really follow NBA like that, but everybody who whether they do or don't follow NBA know the key NBA players, LeBron, Durant. You know what I'm saying? Durant, excuse me. Fucking goddamn. I was finna say Skip his old ass, but you got motherfucking Steph Curry. It's so many people you can name that's top key players, but I never heard of the guy. So I think that's why the media, in the sense, are definitely gonna spare him a little bit, just for that alone. You know what I'm saying? In comparison to Diddy, just my opinion on that. And closure. Anybody got any final words in related to that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Something people need to know, or y'all got any conclusions on what it's gonna be for them? Nah?
When in doubt, you better check them IDs.
Hey, when in doubt, you better, man. Listen, man, nowadays, I need a Social Security card. I need to take this going down to Social Security. I need to take it down to Social Security bill. They're going to let me know.
Let me ask your mama what your age is or something.
Yeah, you got to start meeting mamas now, man, because mama, 9 times out of 10, I say this at 9 times out of 10, 9 times out of 10, the mama is not going to let her underage daughter get down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now, some people, I say 9 times out of 10 because it's still at 1%. And we seen R. Kelly, get away with a lot of things that parents knew about. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the, who else? Who else had the underage? The Akon situation. If people really know these situations to be true, like your daughter's a minor, a lot of parents ain't going. A lot of people are the 1% or that 1 out of 10 is only influenced by what you can do for them, But a real mother or a real father is not going to co-sign that. And the end of that, we also have things that relate to human nature, or we can kick off with our fathers have failed us. So, the clip, which was from That's an Anton Daniels, I believe. I hope I don't mess his name up. I'm always fumble with names. But he had a clip on, I think it's Real Life Superstars or Real Life Productions. I think they based in Texas, about the fact that our fathers failed us horribly.
OGs from yesteryear, they failed us. They lied to us. They told us happy wife, happy life.
And honestly, it's the elders that failed us horribly. And I thought this was a good conversation because me and my older cousins was talking about this outside of our podcast. I'm like, you know what? This is very interesting.
They're the most disappointing generation that I've ever seen in my entire life. They fumbled the country. They said happy wife, happy life. They raised their daughters into being feminists. They lost control of their households.
Because all of us come from different homes and backgrounds. And I know we talked about this somewhat, about where we come from and how our parents view certain things.
And then they gave us all of that same residual effects and all of those generational curses, and now we got to live with them and we got to fix what it is that they dealing with. That's why you see a lot of guys saying, I don't want to be what my father was, or my father was a drunk and that's why I don't drink anymore, or my father wasn't there for me and that's why it is that I treat my kids so well. We trying to fix all of the stuff that they did, and then the next generation is going to be the recipients of our greatness if we go about doing it the right way. But the last generation is the ones that failed us.
But when you look at it in a generational standpoint, based on what we are and what our parents are, it is a very huge difference. It's a very huge difference. And I think a lot of us, well, not to go too deep, I think a lot of us are affected by what our generation did before us when it comes to dealing with us. So, Brother Kazi, being that you're a man from the islands, y'all have different principles when being raised. And I understand you was raised by your grandmother. And I know as of now, from talking to you and your mother, has a very dope relationship. Even you cool with your dad. I haven't talked to you, you're still cool with your dad and stuff like that too. So, from seeing this video, from Mr. Daniel's standpoint, how much verity do you see in that? And verity means the truth. If the audience didn't know, the audience didn't know.
I mean, to be very honest, could the fathers play a better role or a more intricate role, being there, not just on a financial level, but actually on a mental level, like having a conversation, you know? Because I can only speak for, you know, what I've seen growing up or what I experienced growing up. You know, my grand was there a lot. You know, my grand and my granddad, they were there a lot, you know, when I was growing up, whatever the case might be. And everything I learned was through them. You know, I watched my grandfather, he went to work. You know, the regular thing, he went to work, he made sure the house was good, everything. And but when I was younger, I could not have like a conversation like, listen, granddad, I want to talk to you guys about females, you know, because, you know, I make a joke about this. What I would hear is, well, that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about schoolwork, you know?
Right.
You know, so, you know, a lot of times we had to, you know, keep that with inside. And then, you know, I don't want to say sad to say, you have to go like, you know, trial and error. Let me see if this worked. Let me see if that worked. And then a lot of probably the mistakes that you made, you probably would not have made it if it is that. Don't get me wrong. The women, they were always there. They were always there. But for some reason, the males, they were just they were there, but not there in a way like how the mothers would be like a nourishment, be like, you know, like, Dad, can I talk to you about this? Can I talk to you about that? Or them just saying, let me talk to you about something. What do you think about this? You know? So have they failed us? I wouldn't say they failed us because I'm here, and I got like a lot of work ethic from my dad. So I wouldn't say they failed us, but I would say in the area of nurturing and just wanting that quote unquote that soft father figure to be like, yo, what's going on with you? What's going on with you mentally? How is life? All this stuff. You know what I mean? I think that's where it is that they fail us. Because my grandma and my mom, they can only give me it from a female standpoint. You know what I mean? You know, even when I look at, you know, Brother X and Brother COMARK, when I look at you guys and I see the role that you guys are playing in your children's lives, I'm like, yo, this is great. You know? Like, it makes me smile because I know that child, they're going to remember that moment when when brother X said, "Listen, well, what do you want to do? Come on, we're gonna do this. Let's go do this. What do you need? You know what I mean? Just be very, very play an active role, not just on a financial basis. Don't get me wrong, finances is good. That's all good. But I can tell you right now, from a personal experience, I would rather me and my dad sit down and have a conversation, growing up about just ask me like, how you doing mentally? What's going on in life? How's school? You know what I mean? Like versus, well, you got this, you got that, you good. You know what I mean? It's just different. I
Well,
don't know how to explain
I'm
it. So
sorry.
they didn't fail us. Sorry, I don't believe they failed us. I believe that they didn't do enough.
Mm.
You know?
I'm gonna play devil's advocate on one part, but I gotta hear from the doctor. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hear from the southerner. You know who's coming out of Texas, man. As far as from all you know, I understand that brother Kasi based it around his life, but also you can also address this as a collective because you might have cousins or you know what I'm saying or brothers who may have different parents or something or different father per se that might have a different experience. So Dr. Comar, from you being raised and seeing this video, do you see any truth in that? Whether it's your life or people you grew up around when it comes to the generation before failed us. I know it said fathers failed us, but he's really speaking in the collective for the people over here. So
Yeah, he was saying when I listened to it, and I think I clicked on a link that there was like a longer version of it.
mm-hmm.
And he was saying generations. He was saying like the generation failed us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what he meant by that it was like we didn't have guidance. And I can agree in some aspects. I'm gonna agree and disagree. So in an agreement, as it, I think the fact that we didn't have guidance of people like telling us like, oh, it was the whole fact that go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Just go to work your 5 days, get your money, come home, take care of your kids. In those aspects, they never told us like what we're doing now. We're teaching our kids how to be entrepreneurs. We're teaching our kids how to do their credit. We're teaching our kids how to take care of home, take care of their wives, take care of their husbands, and things of that nature. They had a union, those aspects. They failed us in those aspects. You know, they didn't teach us about mental health. We struggle with that now.
That's true.
So in the generation, they did fail us that. But also we had a lot of back and still now we had a lot of fathers and a lot of male figures who wasn't in their life, and I'm not going to say them because growing up in my southern household there was a lot on my side. In my family every male was there, every single male was there, so I can't speak on the fathers who wasn't there. My father may not have came to like every one of my football games or my track meets or anything basketball games, but he showed me one thing, and that's to be a family man. And I think my uncles, my cousins, my older cousins and stuff like that showed everybody in my family how to be that. So in the generation that I grew up in, they showed us that. They showed us how to be hardworking men and to be family men, to be there for our kids. And I've always wanted that for my family, to be there. And I think that's why I'm not going to say I'm a great father. I think I'm a good father. I'm at least there for my kids
Mm-hmm.
in an aspect to say, hey, I'm a great father. And I think that he missed that part. I think he said everything bad about that part, and he missed the commodity of about actually being men and fathers, about how you show us in the different aspects. Yes, they went to work, but did we ever miss the part of saying, hey, you had a roof over your head? You had a roof. Did you have food? You might not have the type of foods you want. We didn't have Chick-fil-A every day. We didn't have McDonald's. We didn't have that. But if you came home and you had clothes on your back, regardless of whether they were Jordans, Nike, you know, things that we always claim we want right now. If you had those aspects, you had, things on your back, you had a home. He missed that part. So I disagree. But I do agree with the aspects that, yeah, we failed because we weren't taught the things that we need to be taught with mental health and financial stability, with credit scores and how to take care of our mind and our body and get life insurance and those things to create the generational wealth that our kids need if we pass away. Like I'm gonna say it, like Caucasian people do. Yeah, we fail. So bam, that's my take on it. So yeah.
Well, listen, I'm gonna pause that because our guest just popped in the goddamn building.
You look like Bone Thugs and Harmony right now.
Gang. But
No,
my
well,
fault, X. What was your question again, sir?
okay, so pretty much what I'm saying to the brothers here is this. Now, I asked brother Kazi, that's my man with the shades, and we got brother Comark, my man who got the Ice Cube going on, and pretty much I'm asking them, how do they feel, which I'm asking you, how do you feel based off the video in regards to the previous generation? Do you feel like you was failed from your mother or father's generation when it comes to bringing you to the world as a man?
So with the video, I watched the video, X, and I did agree on certain points. Like the professor said, we weren't, taught about credit, credit score, to put credit cards in your kids' name when they're, for 1 and 2 years old. That way, when they turn 18, they have perfect credit going on in the credit world. We weren't taught nothing like that. So we do that for our kids now, but like our parents didn't teach us the things that we know now. And so that's why I said I can agree with certain points of that aspect, but at the same time, they taught us a lot of different aspects: to work hard, to go out there and get it by any means, to to not let like little things stop you or deter you from getting to the bag, or getting to your dreams or your aspects. Because we modeled a lot of people, but we just didn't have, like you were saying, that correct guidance. If we had the correct guidance, like many of the other, I don't even want to say Caucasian brother professor, because if you look at the Indian folks, if you look at the Asian folks, if you look at any other ethnicity, they stay at home. They don't. Everybody put in their money together to go buy a home, a family home. They stay in that family home for years. It might be given to the eldest son or whatever the case may be for his family, and then it gets passed on. And we don't teach our kids that. We teach our kids that now. But the one thing I do want to caveat about that kind of bothered me is we as colored people, we like to say when we make things that we go back and take care of our parents. If you look at the Caucasian folks, they take care of their kids first. We go take care of our parents first. So like if I die today, I take care of my parents, my kids don't get anything. My parents were taken care of. So when I make it, I think about taking care of mama. I think about, getting mama a house or whatever the case may be. That's what we think about nowadays. And we should be thinking about putting our kids in a place to be in a better place. So when they grow up, they can do the same thing, kind of like like the Caucasians have been doing for years, so to speak. But that's one thing I just wanted to kind of bring light to, that we need to do better as a people. We need to do better as putting our kids ahead, not going back and making sure grandma got a house. I love grandma. Don't get me wrong. I love grandma and mama to death, but we need to make sure we put our kids ahead, because our kids are the future. Grandma had a chance. Mama had a chance. So we need to make sure we put our kids ahead, bro. That's all I want to kind of say.
I agree with that 100%. I got one question before I play devil's advocate. I'm gonna start
Yes,
with
sir.
Brother
Go ahead.
Comark. Brother Comark, what do you think can help prevent this? And I ask this specifically because a lot of things play a role for guidance, and it's part of where I'm getting the devil's advocate. Now, there's a lot of homes that that could be fatherless and motherless, but some of this is by the parents' choice that affects the guidance that our kids are getting. So my question to you, if you had to give advice or opinion that can help correct it, what would you think it could be to fix this matter?
So let me start off by you said motherless or fatherless.
Mothers or fatherless homes. Correct.
So remember we had this conversation. I think it was just me and you.
That's correct.
Remember how I said that we start by creating guidance places, just like I'm gonna say it, preparing tomorrow's athletes.
Correct.
Or an IT place, or we give these kids a place where they can go to better themselves, where we are enhancing their abilities. They're going to learn a skill to make them better. You go in here and you say, hey, let me teach you coding. Let me teach you how to bump your credit score up. Let me teach you about life insurance. Let me teach you about um, how to get a house. Let me teach you about real estate. Let me teach you about something different. Even though your mother may not be here, your father may not be here. You know, your mother may be, working till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. You have that coach. You have that guidance counselor or whoever it may be to go pick this child up and bring them to this place. And it could be free. I'm not saying you have to even pay for it, but they bring them in, they sit them down for maybe an hour, 2 hours until that parent is there, and they guide them through these. I'm not even going to call them courses. Let's just say activities, and they could be fun, and they can say, "Hey, this is what you need to do step by step to get where you need to be." When you're older. And I talk to my kids a lot about, when they get to the 10th grade, your 11th grade year, there's a lot of schools out here right now. When you get to your 11th grade year, that you can get start your college courses. So when you hit the 12th grade, you can already have your associate's degree. you know so when you hit in college, you can get your start for your bachelor's degree. There are courses right now, like for my kids, there are classes right now where they can get coding. Tech schools, they are already on their tablets a lot right now. Why not start them early to already do that? There are kids out here that's smart enough to do it right now. Let's not already put them on it, instead of putting them in front of a TV and saying, hey, watch Coco Melon. Watch whatever this is. Watch this instead. Do this. Do these math problems. Do this. This tech problem. Let's do this and see where your head is. See where this guidance is. We can do that instead of fighting me about me coming over here and getting my daughter, or me going and get my son. Hey, I'm coming over here to get my son. Go take him to go see counselor Jack. About, I don't know, whatever it could be, social studies or history on God. I don't know, whatever it might be, just to better themselves. This is what we could be doing to just put them ahead about putting $5 toward YouTubing, picture class, filming class, something that's gonna better them in today's society. Just like like we're doing with Bitcoin. I don't even know if that's gonna be a thing later on down the line when money is no longer here. But it's just something that is moving toward the future, instead of just pulling back and saying, hey, let me put you in football. Let me put you in basketball. Let me put you in baseball. Because that's where we're failing. We're trying to push athletes. There's a 1% chance that you're going to make football. There's a 2% chance that you're going to make basketball. That's where we're failing kids right now. Because we're pushing sports instead of pushing technology. I mean, that's my take.
Brother White, man. Same question. Do you feel anything we can do as a collective to bring awareness to the situation to better the kids for tomorrow when it comes to guidance and better upbringing?
Well, the answer to that question should always be yes. There's always something we can always do to better our kids for the future. Like the professor say, instead of putting them in front of the TV, put them in front of a book, or they watching you watching YouTube. Put a specific YouTube on mathematics or reading. My dad used to have a saying, y'all. He said, "Reading is fundamental." So when I was a kid, we didn't have the internet. I had an encyclopedia, so I used to have to go find out whatever information I wanted. So to better our kids, bro, all we got to do is think outside of the box. Like again, like the professor said, we pushing athletes. Yeah, that's cool and all, but we need to push other things. They've been saying this for the longest time. They've been saying this since the 80s, bro, that we keep pushing these athletes and not education, bro. We watch Coach Carter and you see Richmond Oilers. They used to push basketball, bro. They didn't care about them boys graduating. They wanted them boys to play basketball, bro. Like, right. And so they was like, that'd be the highlight of their life, bro. And that's just a little example, bro. Of the sports thing, a small example, bro. But to do anything from technology to tech, construction. You see the Spanish people, the Spanish families got the construction on lock, bro. We can just get something like that on lock, where it's legitimate. We hardworking. We take over that industry, bro. It's over with. We can keep pushing that too, and just keep pushing different things. But like brother professor said, just thinking outside of the box of outside of sports in general. Just pushing education, pushing learning something different, being well cultured in life. Something like that. Go travel, get your money up so you can travel and see things outside of America. See how things are done outside of America. That can push kids too. So I like to do stuff like that. So anything can kind of push a kid, a guided kid, especially you guiding him in the right direction, or you asking him what he want to do, and he says, "Oh, I want to be an architect. I want to be whatever." Because most kids, they say something like that. Some kids gonna say athletes. A lot of kids gonna say a doctor, a lawyer. All right. So do you know what it takes to be a lawyer? Do you have to go to school for almost 20 years outside of going high school? Like, are you ready to pass the bar? Are you ready to from the sleepless nights, no college partying and stuff like that? Are you ready for that? Having those type of conversations for our kids, that we aren't having. Instead of asking them how was prom, what was what you need to do to get better SAT scores. Stuff like that. Just getting to the nitty gritty. Just getting behind our kids and standing behind our kids about the right things and not what's cute or what's relatable in the times of society. What the norm is. You know what I mean?
Right, I like that.
That's the only way we can break that. That's the only way we can break that is being outside of the box.
I like that. Brother Kazi, I know you don't have no little ones, but you still got good common sense. So I believe when you do father a young island boy or girl, I think that you're gonna give the right principles. So your guidance and knowledge is still needed in this too. So as far as our people as a collective, same question. What do you think we can do better to educate or get better guidance for the youth?
I really believe that we as a collective, we need to prioritize our time. Okay, because a lot of times the main thing that's on our minds is money. Let's be realistic about this. You know what I mean?
Very true.
That's
Very
all we
true.
really think about is the money to do other things. So when little Johnny says, "Mom, I want to be an architect," guess what mom or dad is thinking about? The money.
Money,
How am
yeah.
I gonna get the money to do this? Let's face it, we have a lot of single parents in our household. A lot of single parents, most likely the mom, right? If the mom is out there working 20 hours just to put food on the table, a lot of times it's not on mom's mind to fulfill that long-term dream. She's only thinking about, okay, he needs this or she needs this for tomorrow. So the question is that when do we go back to becoming that village mentality, where it is that we actually know our next door neighbor, and we could say, listen, I'm working 20 hours today. Is it possible that you can take little Billy to architectural classes? You know what I'm saying?
Or
Is
the
it possible?
library and
It's
get
so,
and get
exactly,
those books.
because the thing is that the village mentality we forgot because we're so busy chasing finances. And you know what? We have a good reason to, because if we don't, we're gonna be out in the street. But at what cost? What are we willing to sacrifice collectively so that the next generation can benefit? A lot of times, as I heard the two brothers just spoke, we push sports on our children.
Right.
You know, so collectively, I believe it starts as a village. We all gotta really come together. Whether it is only if you have five people in your circle, see what these five people can do to benefit this child, and then move forward from there. That's the only way it's really gonna work. Because if we keep doing what we're doing now, let's face it, nothing will never ever happen.
I would like to move on to the next subject because I feel like it's closely related. Now, we all had got the clip of is it Ari Fletcher?
What was the excuse of you not being there for your daughter for the last 28 years?
Ari Fletcher, she's G Herbo's baby mom. I think she's currently now with Moneybagg Yo. And I forgot the radio personality name. Is her name Keisha? I hate to be butchering people's name. I just not good with the name part. But she's doing, I think, a segment based on the fact that she was fatherless. And In the video, one of the big things that I thought was crazy is when he said,
me and her mother didn't work out, so, you know, I just moved on to the next.
when she asked him, like, yo, like, what happened? Like, she's like, what happened to where you wasn't there or around?
I just don't see where we go from here. Why really do I need you in my life?
You know what I'm saying?
I dip.
And I dip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just moved on. And I want to dig into his ass too, and men like that, because I feel like men like that make the good father so bad. It's a lot of men who want to be fathers, but there's a lot of situations where women, and I'm gonna keep it short because I want the brothers to get some feedback on this. There's a lot of women who takes that for granted, who want no parts, and they know that these are good men. But in this situation with him, I don't respect this at all. So, brother Kazi, from the video you seen regarding this, how do you feel looking through Miss Fletcher's eyes from a person who is fatherless in his answer or his rebuttal to what she said?
It's a reminder to probably a reminder to her, as in, okay, see, this is the problem, this is the trauma that I have been going through, because if you can say this about your offspring, probably my dad said the same thing about me. You know what I mean? I just dipped. I just got someone new, however the case, if that is the case, you know? I really can't really touch too much on it, because in relation to certain things, I can't, I don't understand. So for me to sit here and says, well, this is my opinion, I don't have much to say but just trauma. Because if someone said something that I can relate with, that triggered me when I was young, or something I was battling with when I was young, yes, it would be very, very, I'd be very, very offended. But can I blame this person for my trauma? Can I really blame this person for my trauma, or triggering a trauma of mine? Can I really do it? You know, is this person right for just up and leaving because they got a new girl? No, because you are a degenerate and you're showing that. This is why we as people, they don't take us serious, because this is the nonsense that we do. We just go drop and then move. You know, we go swinging and banging. You know what I mean?
Right.
We just swerve and then move. You know, so that's all I got when it comes to that topic.
Okay, brother COMARK, you know we gotta hear it now, based on the video, man. And me and you definitely talk about this father situation a lot. So, what's going on in your man? Excuse me, what's going on in your head when you see this?
So I went to the comments.
I love the comments.
I did go to, I listened to the video, but I went to the comments, and a lot of the comments was like, "This is all men. This is all men. This is how all men do. Every man is like this. You know, every man, when they get into a relationship and a woman leaves them, or you know, they want to dip." And I was like, what? It's not like that. You know, a lot of men, and I'm speaking from perspective and from experience. A lot of men want to fight for their kids, and a lot of men do. They go back and forth, and they want to see their kid, they want to see their child a lot, and you have to deal with a woman scorn. And I don't know if it's heartache, if it's love, and you still want to be with him, or he still want to be with you, whatever the case may be. But a lot of the back and forth and the arguing and stuff going on, a lot of men get upset and they get tired of going back and forth, and they do dip. And that probably could have been his situation. And I'm not saying, you know, that's every man's situation, but that could have been his situation. That could have been his situation. And he got another girlfriend and was like, you know what, I'm tired. And I dip. And I'm playing devil advocate to it. But it's still wrong, because you still should fight for your child and still be able to see your child and want to see your child regardless of the situation. And we do talk about, me and X talk about this a lot. I have 6 kids, and I went through the situation, and this is not anything against, you know, my ex or whatever, but the problem is men get tired too, you know, of going through the fighting and the arguing and stuff like that. And you know, we have emotions, and we talk about this too. We have feelings too that we have to go through when we're dealing with our kids. We're attached. It's an innate ability as parents to have feelings for our children. And when y'all feel like y'all want to take men through the turmoil that they're going through to see their children, they get upset, you know, and they sometimes want to give up. And sometimes men do give up and they say, hey, I'm done. And they dip and they find out. And then when they get another female, they get another significant other, then y'all want to use that against them to not let them see their children. And sometimes that is the case. But a lot of men still go through the fight and they still fight for their children and they still get their children, they fight. They still do everything in their possibility to see their kids. And that is the case. So he is wrong for just dipping and not seeing his child. So I'm agreed to not the women in the comment that say every man is like that, because not every man is like that, because I'm definitely not like that. I know X not like that, because I still fight for my kids and I see my kids and I have great relationship with all my children. I mean, three of my children still live with me, but I have a great relationship with my kids. There are men, and a lot of men, and I'm gonna say 50% of men out there, because it's gonna be half and half, that love their children and will fight for their kids. So you can't just say I'm gonna up and dip and be like, let me not fight for his kids. So he's wrong. And then a lot of comments said that, oh, he just might want to take the interview because she's famous. That's probably wrong too, but could be a fact too.
All right, brother White, what is your input on this, man, based on the video with Ari Fletcher in regards to her dad popping up and the answer he gave? That's probably the most important. How do you feel about the answer he gave for why he wasn't there as a dad?
Let's start with the answer. Thank you for the floor, sir. So the answer, let's just say, was fucked up. Let's just be real. The answer was fucked up. Everybody can agree the answer was fucked up.
I agree.
For you to tell your child that I wasn't there for you because me and your mama's relationship failed and I just walked away after that, it's like, we'll just say a slap in the face. So like, and I know she felt that when he said that. Like, I felt that when he said, I'm like, bro, did you really just say this on TV? But I'm like, that's a conversation that should have been had behind closed doors too, as well, with his own daughter. Like, baby girl, I know I wasn't in your life, and I wasn't in your life at the time because dad had mentally wasn't there. Like I wasn't mentally as mature as I am now. I wasn't there because me and your mama's relationship didn't work out, and I got a new girlfriend. I left. That's how that conversation should have kind of went, and it should have been behind closed doors too. He shouldn't have did that like out in the public too, but. The whole thing to me was wrong. Like, I don't understand. Like, you know my story, X. I fight for my little girl every day, still to this day. Still fighting. On child support, and I take care of my baby girl every day, bro. She damn near live with me. My baby girl on I'm on child support, so that's just how another conversation for a different day.
Hey, I'm gonna play devil's advocate with this one because I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of waiting to say my 2 cents. Now, brother White and brother COMARK know this way too well in my situations. What brother COMARK was saying earlier is very true. Men do, or men will give up. If you personally never been to court back to back dealing with different judges in different states under different circumstances, I don't even expect you to understand or relate. Now back to the comment part, that's another thing that I hate when it comes to our color especially. It's like we so quick to see one man do something and now it's all
categorize it. Yeah.
Everybody's under this umbrella. But I'm going to tell y'all honestly, and I say it from the horse's mouth, I'm not scared to say it. And a few of these situations when it comes to my kids, I definitely gave up. Because if I didn't, I would probably be in jail. And anybody who know me personally, I click a little different when it comes to my kids. It's a few things I said that when it comes to certain baby moms, I ain't going to put no names out, but I wish bad on them. And it's only because of the fact that co-parenting is not a real thing if you're not with that woman most of the time. And I love my kids. I mean, like I tell everybody who know me, anybody who was around with the Snapchat days when I had it, I'm always traveling. It's not even a question. I'm always at a game. I'm always doing something when it's allowed and it makes sense. I'm a Diamond Medallion member. If anybody who knows this, you got to know you spend a good bit of change to fly to get this tag. But in cases where it's not civil, it's not equal, I'm not mad at men who give up. I'm not even going to encourage another man to go fight for something where it feels like it would take them out of their own sanity. Because a lot of women, if people got family members know this, a lot of women and men die behind this, dealing with their feelings when it comes to being a parent. it's few stories where it's caught by suicide where men had it so hard mentally, like, dog, I just want to be a parent. And there's men who've been through the ringer in the system, whether you had money or you didn't, just for trying to see your child. You can get blocked from your child if you don't even see, if you don't have income. If you don't have proof of income, say you lost your job and you go back to court. You don't get visitation if the court does not see that you can provide for this child. But what if you living with your wife or your girlfriend who can hold it down? It doesn't matter. If the court does not see fit that makes sense, you can get punished for it. You can lose your license. You can go to jail. And it's half these times. Now this ain't all men. Half these times it comes from a woman or a man being bitter, and that's so foul and whack. If a person is a good person, they're a good parent, I don't see what's the problem why kids shouldn't be allowed with that other parent, the guardian that's outside the home. We making these too many excuses to where, oh, he did this to me or he did that. But what does that got to do with the child?
Exactly.
So I'm really big on this because I'm living this situation, you know, and I'm not scared to say it at all. I do love all my children. Anybody who see me, that's how I met Brother White. I met Brother White coming to Florida to see my son. And he'll tell you when I got back in my son, like I was coming to Florida almost every week. Like, yo, I had a key to the house. I was coming so often because I didn't have a lot of time with him before that. So I was trying to catch up with the times that I was allowed to make sense. So without rambling, I don't like men like this at all because they make it harder for men like me. Because it's men who really put their arm and foot to trying to be kosher and talking with their kids' moms, or the women who talking with their kids' father impolite, knowing they talking to you disrespectful, knowing they playing with you the wrong way, knowing they trying to belittle you, knowing that they will even try to put you in jail so you couldn't see your child. And that's one of my kids' moms. Everybody who know me personally know about the situation on the plane. And for the audience who know, we'll probably talk about that in a future episode. Your brother got caught up. We know it went viral. But the point is, when I put myself on child support in one of these cases, a person was willing to tell the police things that the police never even knew just because I put myself on child support. And this is fact. I got all the emails. So even if she did listen, I didn't say her name, so nobody know who was who. But how crazy is that? A man put himself on child support just to spend time with his children, and then you still would threaten for things that's not even going on currently, but you have information that could make it hard for the people I was dealing with at that time, to where it could come back and bite all of us in the butt because you don't know these people. Anybody who dealt illegal situations with certain groups of people, it could cost you your life, and it's that serious. So I don't like the guy. I don't like how he rolled it out on the carpet like that. I don't like men like that because he is a prime example of what leads the narrative of what women see us all in a collective being bad men. And that is very correct. That's super corny. So before we move on, I always like to ask, man, I'm gonna start with Brother COMARK. What advice would you give to help rectify this situation, if it's even possible? When we go through situations like this, especially for fathers who need to hear this message, who lack the parenthood.
Man, I know we're gonna talk about we talked about this and we talked about this maturity. Honestly, communication is a real good key, and I know it's hard to be mature between two people, and communication is hard between two people who maybe don't even like each other, but still have to communicate between each other, or got some type of, I don't know, issues between each other. Even if it's, just say it's for the kids. Just say communication for the kids. You have to understand that you're trying to communicate for the well-being of that child or those children, because I don't know how many children you have.
Correct.
You have to understand that you don't have to be happy with each other. You have to be cordial for that child or those children. You have to be like, hey, I understand that we're not happy together anymore. We just need to be happy in a space where we can exchange the child, come up with a plan for this child, and let that be what it is. And it's hard to, like we say, mature, because as we get older, we still mature every day, day by day. You just have to understand that it's not about you. It's about them. It's all about them. Put your evils aside because that's what it is. It's being evil. It's fucking evil. And
call it what it is, brother. Call it what it is.
It
It
is.
is.
Just and let your godliness, because we're all child of God or Allah or whoever you want to call it. Even if you don't believe in God, put your godliness, because somebody put you on this earth, your motherness, your earthiness into that child,
right?
And say, hey, let's do this just for them. That's all I can say. I don't know other way to put it, but just say, hey, let's do it for the child.
Brother White, can we follow up on that? Do you got any advice for the people who who need to hear this information that we can do better as parents or parent for those who lack? Because it might be one good one, one bad one. So, what do you think we can do to help better the situation?
I just want to concur with my brother Professor. Exactly, like put our bitterness to the side, put our spitefulness to the side, put our anger to the side for the children. Like for like I say for your situation, bro. I told you they need to put that evil shit to the side. And I'm not gonna say any names, but they need to put the evil shit to the side, bro. Because that again, they not doing nothing but hurting the kids at the end of the day. Because that's all you're doing when mother is bitter or baby daddy is bitter because her new dude's there is better than he is and doing all like Future, for instance. I love Future to death. I don't want to deviate from the topic. I love Future to death. But what Future do to Russell Wilson, I'm like, bro, come on, man. Like Russell is putting your son in a position to be better than you. Eventually, after you leave this earth, baby Future gonna be that guy. Like, let's be realistic. Like he with Russell Wilson and he with Sierra. Like he can be musically gifted, he can be mentally gifted, he can be athletically gifted, he can do anything he wants. He has the ability to do anything. He can be a doctor, lawyer, astronaut, whatever the case may be. He can be the first person on Mars for all he wants. Let's be realistic. But not to go off topic, he needs to stop putting down Russell Wilson for being a great father to his kid. That's his kid.
I agree.
Like that's the stuff we need. I want to tell people to start doing. Like again, I fuck with Future a long way, but the stuff he do to Buddy, like he need to cut that out. Like we better than that. We men at the end of the day. Like we need to act like men all the time. Like you know what I mean, that's just my take off of that. You had the floor again, sir.
Brother Kazi, you last on the list, man. What input you got for the people from in this topic?
Man, you should have put me first on the list, man. The guy with no kids, man.
I could have, man.
There's nothing I can say to follow up with Brother White, Brother COMARK, or you, because I don't have kids. I can only go and learn lessons from you guys and see what you guys are going through. You know what I mean? And take advice from you guys, whether it be successful or unsuccessful. Or you can say, well, go down this route. But one thing I'm hearing through all your messages is the ego and the pride of someone else doing what you should be doing because you couldn't do it as good as this person. You know what I mean? So now it doesn't become about the kid, it becomes all about you. So what I learned, because you should have put me first, G-Zon.
I got you. Next time I'm gonna think about it.
What I learned here is, and I can only say to the audience, is what I learned. If you have an ego in play because someone else is doing a better job than you, or you don't know how to do your job, and before just ask a question, listen, I'm not too good at this, man. I see that you're better than this than me. Can you teach me? That's what we need as men. To go to another man, can you teach me how to do this because I'm not that good? And the other man's like, okay, got you. Listen, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm getting. But from what I'm understanding, man wouldn't do that because it's an ego thing, testosterone thing. We roar, we gorillas, so we don't do certain things, which is damaging not only us, but the next generation. That's what I got from three of you guys just now.
One of the last topics I want to cover, because we definitely over time, which I don't mind, but I'll try to be considerate of people's schedules. It's pretty much the video from Charleston White, who pretty much stating, again, was it real life street stars, real life productions? I apologize if I butcher your name wrong. I'm gonna do better research to getting the names right. I promise you. But I believe it's the podcast Real Life Street Stars. And there you go, my brother back. With that being stated, his message is pretty much, a man ain't appreciated until his presence is no longer here.
The man is supposed to sacrifice his life for everybody else, and he don't get no reward.
Now, of course, the videos always go up. We try to put the video so people can see, so we don't got to say what he said verbatim, but we do know it was a list of things that follow behind that main topic.
The man's happiness don't mean nothing to nobody. The man's peace don't mean nothing to nobody. The man ain't appreciated, homie, till his presence is no longer there.
Amen. Ain't appreciated until he's no longer here.
That's the only way he can be appreciated. Yeah. The foreign woman, if you give her a bag of fruit, her and her family would appreciate the bag of fruit.
Hey.
The American woman done got so she said, you can't even take me to go get the Cheesecake Factory.
So I'm gonna start with Brother Akazi because he ain't go first last time, and he might got some valuable information on this. So from the video, from what you hear from Charleston White, how do you feel like that as being a man, let alone a black man?
I can see the validity in some of the things that he's saying. But again, what I'm learning from the people around me is who do you have in your circle that will value you while you're here and give you your flowers while you're here. So if he's saying something like, men aren't valued, I guess collectively until they're not valued until they're gone, is it just your circle we're speaking about? Or are we speaking collectively of people? Because I know a lot of people in my circle that they value me. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So what are we talking about here? Collectively as a whole, or the specific circles that we're in? Because I'm sure that if it's... Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just to answer your question so you can finish elaborating. It will be collectively, because what you experience might not be what the collective of men experience. And if you read the comments, if you see the comments, well, I know Brother Marco did. We the comment warriors. You will see a lot of men, agree with what Charles White's saying. So let's say for the collective.
So for the collective then, right? And this is something that my wife, she posed this question to me, right? Who do you have in your circle? The people that you have in your circle currently, if you just right now dropped off the face of the earth, what would they have to say about you? Right? That was the question that was posed. And the answer was, well, my circle is very, very, very tight. It's who I choose to surround myself with. So I'm going to play a little bit both sides. I blame people like us, men, for surrounding ourselves with other people that they have no value in our lives. They shouldn't even have access to us to be even bringing up this kind of topic collectively. You know what I mean? So yes, we could jump on a bandwagon. We can be like, oh yeah, it's true. But you made that contract when you said, hey buddy, we can be friends, or hey buddy, we can do whatever. You made that contract with a person. So you should know in making that contract, well, this is the likelihood this person might do this. You know what I mean? So that's just my 2 cents. You should know who your circle is, because like you, Brother X, if you had to do something on a personal level to spite me right now, I can honestly say, well, you know what? You got me, because I didn't see that coming, because the person that you showed me who you were wasn't the person that I'm getting now. You know what I mean? So in that, I would have to take responsibility for that, because again, more investigation. I should have done that, before falling too hard. Like, I love you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just gonna let you know, man. Devil's advocate mode activated. So I got some things for you, brother. But I gotta wait. Brother White, man. What is your take on what Charleston White said in regards to men only pretty much cared or validated when after life, which is mean, of course, death.
I want to say I agree a lot on that, but you got to think, we are the main providers. That's why we are the main. We are, and without us, bro. Like, let's be realistic. Life doesn't go on without men. Period, bro. Life doesn't go on, bro. Mm-hmm. You can't repopulate the earth. Most of the things is invented by man, bro. Let's be realistic. Most of the stuff that we have to today has been by men. So technology, building stuff, construction, anything, like, it's gonna be men, bro. So us being the main provider, we're always at work. We're always the hard worker. We're always gone. So, you know, they get used to daddy not being home. I got to go to work. Kids got to go to school. Daddy come home late. They used to me not being there, bro. So the only time, like I'm saying, the only time it's going to really be felt, like my presence is really going to be felt is when I'm not there completely. When I'm not there completely. That's when they're going to understand that daddy really loved them. Daddy really did. Daddy really sacrificed all his time so we could have a better life. And again, you really don't see that until, again, daddy's gone. That's what Charleston White was trying to say. And I can relate to that a lot. You really don't notice how much your father or whoever that person was just taking care of you. Like any male role model in your life that's really doing that much for you. You really don't know what's going behind the scenes. And then you really find out later on in life that he did this, he sacrificed this just so you can have a better life. I mean, type shit. But that's really what he's referring to. That's really what I got from the video. We the providers, we really always the hard workers. So like when we not there, shit hits the fan, bro. Like let's be realistic. That's why, again, you know, I don't deviate from plan, but when you say fatherless homes versus motherless homes, I feel like that's different, and that could be a different conversation for a different day. Because statistically, kids that live with their father end up being better than kids that live with their mother, and that's statistic wise. But so that's another conversation for a different day too. I didn't want to get too far on that, but just us being that person, the glue. I feel like, you know, we're the glue. We hold everything together. You know, and women can say, you know, consider the same thing too as well. They hold shit together with the family, but I feel like we hold everything together. We bring everybody together, and without the father, like everything is, you know, falls apart after that, so to speak. Kind of like chess, you know, with the king. Once you lose the king, everything else, you know, checkmate, bro.
Hey, I like that last ending, man.
I mean,
I definitely had to say Brother COMARK for the end. I'm gonna tell you why. I already know I feel like I'm gonna piggyback off him, so I don't gotta say too much because we definitely over. And as far as that subject you was talking about, Brother White, we actually supposed to talk about this today. I don't think it's just safe for us to do it right now because as one of the videos, but we did, that was in rotation, but we gonna say that. We definitely gotta say that one. But Brother COMARK, man, hey man, the people gotta hear the doctor, man. So again, how do you feel about the fact that what Charleston White said?
Man, you see all this gray? You see the camera? You see? Man, his face look good, man. I'm about to knock this shit out the park.
Hey, go ahead, brother. Get your bat ready.
Y'all ever experienced Father's Day? I know my brother.
I already know where you going.
Hey, I got the chart right there. Hey, look, I already got the chart. I already got the chart. I know you're gonna go.
Do you understand that Father's Day is the 13th less celebrated holiday in the motherfucking, and I'm gonna say this,
world.
The motherfucking holiday in the world.
Yeah, I'm already knowing.
In the world, that shit is less celebrated than St. Patrick's Day. St. Patrick's Day.
And Halloween and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Motherfucker. We are fathers, and we can't be celebrated after a motherfucking leprechaun.
Exactly.
Are you understand? Do you not understand that?
Hey, it's not funny, but that's facts, though. That's a fact.
And that's a fact. That's a fact. I couldn't wait to say that shit. And we should have did this. I mean, I say we should have did this on Father's Day, but that's the truth. The problem with that is, and if you ask, I'm not saying you ask anybody, right? If you ask your father, you can't ask my father. But if you ask a father, hey, what you get for your birthday? Did somebody call you on your birthday? Exactly, a tie. What you get for Christmas? Their probably answer is probably gonna be nothing, right?
Or some little stuff, some socks.
Or some little shit, because everybody forget about them. Some socks. Everybody forget about them. Their kids forget about them. They, you know, I'm not gonna say their wives forget about them, but everybody forget to either call them, say something to them, anything, because they're the least talked about person in the household, in the family. Everybody forgets about them until they pass away. They are the least celebrated person in the fucking world, and the statistics show. And I just don't understand why. I would send my daddy something on his birthday, on Father's Day, on Christmas, every day. I mean, every time, every holiday. I called him one day and I sent him a mug that says, "You are the best father ever made." And he called me and he said, do you really believe that?" And I said, "Why not?" I said, "You taught me how to be a father. You showed me everything in the world." I said, "You might not have been there, during my sports events." I said, "But you taught me how to be a father. I want you to understand that." I always asked him, do he want to go to a Cowboys game? But he always turned it down. And he said, because he never wants to go there.
Right.
And I said, I just want you to understand that I want you to be appreciated, because nobody ever appreciates the father and the family. And it's true. So I do agree. I do agree. I do agree with him. And I've told this to everybody. I've told this to my kids and my older kids. My older kids are grown.
Right.
And I send them. So 3 of them are 22 and above, all the way to 18. And I called them on my birthday and I said, "Hey, I want y'all to buy me some shoes. $100. 3 of them are grown. That's probably less than $30 a piece, maybe 33, something like that. You think I got the shoes? No, didn't get the shoes." And I was like, I don't understand why. Like this is crazy. I said, but as soon as something happened to y'all call me, "Hey, Dad, I need this, I need that, I need that," or whatever like that. And that's the problem. And I said, I want y'all to understand that once y'all have kids, this is the same shit that's gonna happen to y'all. I want y'all to understand what I'm trying to teach y'all now is to appreciate y'all fathers as y'all get older. But it's the truth, and I do agree. I do agree that I agree with him. And
Right.
I'm not even gonna say that for African Americans. I'm probably gonna say that with every single father, every white, Indian, everybody. I'm sure it's all down the line. Every father.
Hey, to piggyback right behind you, man, I agree 1,000%. It is what every father is how I see it, because it's funny, you realize all 4 of us in here, we're all from somewhere different. But you know what's so funny? You see how everybody said, what did the father get? Some socks, a tie.
Yeah.
Why do we all got the
Little
same
dress
answer?
shirt.
You know what I'm saying? Why do we all got the same answer from 4 different places, 4 different lifestyles, 4 different homes? And I
Cause that's
think
what we
Because
get
that's what
now.
we got.
yeah, but
That's what we get now, bro.
and I think that's a huge problem. I think it's a very huge problem with that, because for a man, just like Brother Marco said, Brother COMARK example, excuse me, for fathers to ask, like, listen, 3 grown-ups, like, hey, I either want $100 pair of shoes. When you talking about somebody who probably did thousands, spent thousands for them their whole life, you asking your child or your children $33 a piece plus tax. Let's just say $40. $40 is the magic word. $40 a piece gonna cover the tax a piece. That couldn't happen. I don't like stuff like this, and I'm going. That's why I said I played devil's advocate earlier from Brother Kazi. I'm giving the world hell for this, and I say this because yeah, you might be around people that celebrate you, and I feel what you're saying when you say that. But the issue is when a man holds the fort down, this should not be like a pop quiz. This is like a part of common sense. If a man is going out his way to provide for him, his family, his friends, I'm talking about any way like possible, man, I should goddamn have a crown at the end of every year. I don't see why this is a conversation nowadays when that's a fact. Put that crown on, because I don't see where it's a problem. I'm having a hard time seeing this issue being still a problem, because man, I know all of y'all personally. I didn't meet y'all yesterday. I can go out my way and say, yeah, we all got flaws, but I will all consider y'all good men in my opinion. Now, other people might see different, but I speak more wide open with perspective than most. So I will go on the record and say everybody on these cameras are good men. And I don't like the fact, and I never did, when we got to take the back burner in situations like this and when we die. So I say this before closing. What do we do, or what do you guys suggest to where we could bring awareness to this situation? Because again, all of us from different households, but we all can kind of see the same gifts. That means, in some sense, we could all recognize that we're all getting the same vibration from different parts of the United States in regards to being a man, or seeing this from our fathers, or the ones who acted as our grandfathers, or our brothers, or our cousins who males. So anybody can really jump out this if you like, because you know we're at closing. So what do you guys feel that we could bring more awareness to where we can be recognized while we're alive instead of when we're dead? Anybody can jump out now.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest?
Go ahead.
As you were closing, I had a feeling that this question would come up, and I'm gonna be very, very honest. I looked straight to brother COMARK. I kid you not. I look why because I was trying to answer the question in my head, like, yo, what can be done? What can be done? I was thinking, okay, is it the media? I'm thinking everything, but then I'm stunned. What can be done? Because like this has been going on for so long, so ingrained in our children's that's probably coming. Like how can we fix a problem that has been around long before us, long before our grandparents? How can we even? How is it even fixable?
That's why I said bring awareness, because awareness could lead to a solution. I don't expect nothing really to happen overnight. That's why I use the word awareness, because once you bring awareness to something, now we can have more collective brains in the situation to give a better opinion, and then we all have that. So, wait, Brother COMARK got his hand up. Hold on, Brother COMARK got his hand up now. Look what we got, brother.
I need that BONICHE shirt that says, I need to be celebrated more.
Hey. There we go, man. And he gave a BONICHE shout out, man. That's gonna be the links in the description, man. Make sure you go get the merch. You know what I'm saying? BONICHE, you know, soul ties. You know I'm always shouting my brothers out, man. Go get the soul ties, but man, Dr. Marco Harrington, man. We gotta get them shout outs in. Continue what you were saying, Brother Kakazi.
I'm sorry to piggyback on that. You know, I was saying very quickly when you said about the awareness, Brother X. A traumatic experiment. You know what I mean? The birthday comes around, and dad is just in the coffin laying down. Just in the coffin laying down. You know what I mean? No. Because you know you ever seen those experiments where it is that these things happen, and all of a sudden people just they wake up like, oh my God, I didn't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like a traumatic experiment worldwide, bring awareness. You know, a group of fathers from, I don't know, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, they did this and shocked their children, and what does the children have to say? And the reason they did it is because of this. I mean, that's the only way I actually see anything getting any kind of attention, putting it on social media. I mean, you're going to get bashed for it. Or what kind of father would do this to the kids? The kind of father that asks his 3 grown-up kids for a $100 pair of shoes, and they couldn't even provide $40 to buy the shoes. That's my father.
Not to cut you off, man. I just want to say one quick thing, because you know I might forget. This is why again I use awareness, because when you have these conversations, you don't really post a bash. And I say that strongly because when we deliver these messages, if a person first thing to do is quickly go to, oh, you ain't it, or you what, that's the problem. That's the ultimately the problem. So we gotta ignore them out the way. We gotta ignore them because they're part of the problem. Bringing awareness stuff, we try to look for a solution. So if you're down talking the situation, down talk the people who are not recognizing the good man on this planet. Why we always gotta be with the scrubs? You know, why we gotta be on the TLC son? We don't want the scrubs. You know, why we gotta be them men? You know what I'm saying? All men are not bad men. It don't matter if you're black, white, Mexican, Russian, Ukrainian. It doesn't matter. So why is the narrative is such a big thing? So that's all I want to put out there, brother. But please continue.
No, that's all I got.
Oh man,
Brother COMARK.
I want y'all to shut him down. Brother COMARK, what's up, man?
Nah, I honestly, I know when he said he was looking at me, he thought I was gonna have an idea, but I'm gonna tell you, over my head, bro, because hey, we can paint the picture in the sky, and everybody will look up that motherfucker and they'll be like, shit, whatever.